بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وقال رجل مؤمن من آل فرعون يكتم إيمانه وتقتلون رجلا أن يقول ربي الله وقد جاءكم بالبينات من ربكم وإن يك كاذبا فعليه كذبه وإن يك صادقا يصبكم بعض الذي يعدكم إن الله لا يهدي من هو مسرف كذاب. صدق الله العظيم. Alhamdulillah, brothers and sisters, we're continuing with this series regarding the reflections from the Quran Kareem. So in Salatul Taraweeh, when we're standing 20 rakats in worship every single night, we are reciting the Quran. But the most important thing about this Quran is the teachings and the guidance of what we gain from this Quran. Many of us, we don't understand what the Quran is being recited. And that is why it's so important for us to connect ourselves with this book, that what is the guidance of what Allah is telling us? Why is this Quran so special? And why do we stand up in these nights reciting this book? What does this book guide us towards? And when we truly ponder and reflect upon the teachings of the Quran, wallahi, brothers and sisters, this is enough for us for success in this life and the hereafter. The one who connects themselves to the Quran, he is connected with an unending source of motivation and inspiration for the rest of their life. We don't need anything else other than this book. We don't need anything else other than this Quran. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself has mentioned, Ya ayyuhan nas, O mankind. When Allah is speaking about this book and what this book is offering us, what the Quran offers us, He says, قَدْ جَاءَتْكُمْ مَوْعِظَةٌ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ. Verily, an admonition has come to you from your Lord. Maw'idah is an advice. This book is an advice from the Creator of the world. Imagine Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as the Creator of the heavens and the earth. This Quran is a guidance from Him. It is an admonition from Him. It is a nasihat from Him. قَدْ جَاءَتْكُمْ مَوْعِظَةٌ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ وَشِفَاءٌ لِمَا فِي الصُّدُورِ. And this Quran is a cure for the sicknesses of the heart. وَهُدًى وَرَحْمَةٌ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. And it is a guidance and a mercy for the believers. So the only way we can access this is we understand and ponder and reflect and follow its teachings. With that being said, this is the objective of these evening lectures, these post-Taraweeh lectures, is how we can learn from this Quran that is being recited, how we can bring this in our lives. So tonight, mashallah, our Huffaz, may Allah Ta'ala reward them, they recited a surah known as Suratul Ghafir. Suratul Ghafir. This surah is also known as Suratul Mu'min, the chapter of the believer. And this is one of the names of the surah because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions a believer and the story of a believer in this surah. Why this is significant, why this is important. Who was this believer? This wasn't just any believer. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala titles the surah Suratul Mu'min, the believer, or the special believer. But his name and his actual who he was, this is unknown. But what he did is so significant that it serves as a inspiration for us to the Day of Judgment. And Allah has honored him by mentioning him in the Quran Kareem. What is his story? This believer was not any believer. He was a believer from the people of Fir'aun. Fir'aun, who was a tyrant. Fir'aun, who we already mentioned some of his story as how he had persecuted Moses and Bani Israel, the children of Israel, for centuries and generations. He had enslaved them. This was the Pharaoh. Somebody that if you were to speak against him, he would immediately have you executed, he would have you crucified, he would have you nailed to the trees. This is what Fir'aun was known for. Knowing this, imagine that you are from his cabinet, you are from his people, you are from his courtiers, you are from his inner circle, and Iman and faith, and you listen to the truth and you accept the truth. This is something very profound. This is something amazing. This is something very rare. that you know the consequences of what is going to happen if I'm going to believe. What are the consequences if I accept this faith, knowing that my boss is the biggest tyrant on the face of this earth right now? My boss says, I am your Lord Most High. That is your boss, basically. Your boss claims to be God. Not normal God, the highest God. If there's any other gods, then know that if there's any other gods, then I am higher than that God. I'm the top dog here. That's your boss. Despite that, Allah mentions, and look at what's going on. Surah Al-Mu'min, and this is ayah number 26. The story starts like this. وَقَالَ فِرْعَوْنُ ذَرُونِي أَقْتُلْ مُوسَى وَلْيَدْعُ رَبَّهُ. Imagine this is where the story is beginning. Fir'aun said, leave me to kill Moses. Forget about all this talk. Let's just finish this guy off. What are we waiting for? ذَرُونِي أَقْتُلْ مُوسَى وَلْيَدْعُ رَبَّهُ. And let him call on his Lord. Let me kill Musa and let him call on his Lord. Let's see how his Lord is going to help him. إِنِّي أَخَافُ أَن يُبَدِّلَ دِينَكُمْ. And then look at how immediately, this is all the pharaohs, they act alike. He mentions something, I'm going to kill this person. How can you just kill somebody, right? But look at then the justification. All pharaohs act alike. Look at the justification. إِنِّي أَخَافُ أَن يُبَدِّلَ دِينَكُمْ. I fear that he's going to cause corruption. I fear that he's going to change and alter your religion. That's what I fear. He's going to mess up your country. He's going to take your jobs. He's going to do this and he's going to do that. أَوْ أَن يُظْهِرَ فِي الْأَرْضِ الْفَسَادِ. I fear he's going to cause mischief in the land. وَقَالَ مُوسَى إِنِّي عُذْتُ بِرَبِّي وَرَبِّكُمْ. And while all of this is happening, Musa alayhi salam, he says, I seek refuge in your Lord and my Lord. مِن كُلِّ مُتَكَبِّرٍ لَا يُؤْمِنُ بِيَوْمِ الْحِسَابِ. From every arrogant one who does not fear the day of reckoning. Imagine that this conversation is going on. And after this conversation is going on, this believer from the people and the courtiers of Pharaoh speaks up in this conversation. I mean, this is he basically, Fir'aun is at his wit's end. He's had enough. He said, I'm done with this. I'm done with Moses. I'm at my wit's end. I'm going to finish this guy. Let him call on his Lord, see what his God is going to do for him. At this point, somebody who's from the people of Pharaoh, he's a Coptic himself, because they were the Coptics, that was the people of Pharaoh, and they were the Israelis, the Israelites who were there. They were from the progeny of Yaqub alayhi salam. They were there, which later on they became enslaved in Egypt. Long story short, at this point, and this is where we must take inspiration from the life of this sincere person, that when he saw the truth, he believed, but he hid his faith. He was intelligent and he had wisdom. Like some of the brothers, when they convert, immediately they want to just announce everything to their whole family, and their family then wants to kill them the next minute. Like, be a little bit smart. You don't need to explain every single thing you do. Hey, mom and dad, I'm going to the prayer. I'm praying 5 times a day. I'm a Muslim now. Oh my God, What are you going to do? I'm fasting. Like people have difficulty praying ever in their life. They have difficulty acknowledging God, and you're telling them you're praying 5 times a day. You have to know and be a little bit intelligent and be clever like a fox. Be a little bit clever. And the believer from the people of Fir'aun teaches us, be a little bit clever. You don't need to make announcements that's going to put your life and your faith in danger. Be smart, be intelligent. Look at what your situation is. Look at what this believer from the people of Fir'aun, the inner circle. You can imagine how much his life is in danger. But look at what he does. He first gives them da'wah. He didn't say, hey, everybody, I'm a Muslim. He didn't say that. First, he's giving them da'wah. First, he's giving them rationale and reasoning and arguments that they cannot refuse. So look at how Allah Ta'ala then mentions his story. The Quran is so profound. He says, وَقَالَ رَجُلٌ مُؤْمِنٌ مِنْ آلِ فِرْعَوْنَ يَكْتُمُ إِيمَانَهُ. And the believing man from the people of Pharaoh, from the inner circle of Pharaoh, said, while he was hiding his faith, his life was in danger, but he hid his faith. He hid proclaiming his faith, but he didn't hide his faith. What did he hide? He hid proclaiming his faith. Hey everybody, I'm a Muslim now. That he didn't do, but he didn't hide what he believed. This is very important to understand. He did not hide what he believed. He was very vocal about that. But he didn't claim that, oh everybody, I'm a follower of Moses now. I believe in the God of Moses. He didn't say this. So then It continues. He says, أَتَقْتُلُونَ رَجُلًا أَن يَقُولَ رَبِّيَ اللَّهِ. Will you kill a man just because he says, Allah is my one and only Lord? Yani, will you just kill a person just because they believe in God? Is that what you're going to do? This is the point we've reached? This is where you are now? Just because somebody says, I believe in God, you're going to kill him? أَتَقْتُلُونَ رَجُلًا أَن يَقُولَ رَبِّيَ اللَّهِ وَقَدْ جَاءَكُمْ بِالْبَيِّنَاتِ مِنْ رَبِّكُمْ. And not only that, you know that He has brought you miracles from your Lord. It's not like you know that He has a God, and you know that God is powerful because He has brought you proofs from your Lord. And وَإِن يَكُ كَاذِبًا فَعَلَيْهِ كَذِبُ. Why you want to kill this person? If he's a liar, then the evil consequence of his lie will be upon him. وَإِن يَكُ صَادِقًا يُصِبُكُمْ بَعْضُ الَّذِي يَعِدُكُمْ. And if he is truthful, then what he has promised you will come true. Look at this intelligence, subhanallah, how intelligently he is conveying the message to them. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَهْدِي مَنْ هُوَ مُسْرِفٌ كَذَّابٌ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never guide a transgressing liar. Ya qawmi lakumul mulku al-yawm. Oh my people, look at this. This is like, I don't want to go too deep. This is 3 pages. This could be a surah on his own, the lecture that he gives. He's giving a lecture. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has preserved his words in the Quran. I will try to summarize it. He says, Ya qawmi lakumul mulku al-yawm. And this is a message for all the pharaohs of this time. Even the pharaoh that's sitting right now in the White House. This is a message for him as well. And all the other pharaohs that follow him. This is for them. Ya qawmi lakumul mulku al-yawm zahirina fil ard. You have power right now on the earth. You are dominant. You have power. But remember one thing. فَمَنْ يَنْصُرُنَا مِنْ بَأْسِ اللَّهِ إِنْ جَاءَكُمْ. Who will save us from the punishment of God if it comes upon us? You're the top dog right now. You have power. You're ظَاهِرِينَ fil ard. But when the punishment of God comes upon you, who will save you? Who will save us? When the fires happened in Los Angeles, who could save anyone? When it came, nobody could stop it. They're putting it's like somebody, putting a little hose on a huge, mountain that's burning on fire. Nobody could stop it. And this is something that Allah Ta'ala, even in this day and age, is showing us every day His power. That when the power of Allah and when the punishment of Allah comes, who will be able to avert that? No matter how much power you have and you think you have, remember that the power of Allah is greater than that. قال فرعون ما أريكم إلا ما أرى يا قوم لكم الملك اليوم ظاهرين في الأرض فمن ينصرنا من بأس الله إن جاءنا قال فرعون ما أريكم إلا ما أرى. What was the answer of Fir'aun? Listen to his answer after all of this was said to him. Look, I don't see any other way for you people other than what I have said. My way or the highway. ما أريكم إلا ما أرى. I don't see for you any other path other than what I see. It's my way or the highway. This guy is talking, whatever he's saying, that's not acceptable. It's our way. Either you're with us or you're against us. وَمَا أَهْدِيكُمْ إِلَّا سَبِيلَ الرَّشَادِ. And another point, I will not guide you except on the path of prosperity. I will not guide you except on the path of righteousness and prosperity. وَقَالَ الَّذِي آمَنَ يَا قَوْمِ إِنِّي أَخَافُ عَلَيْكُمْ مِثْلَ يَوْمِ الْأَحْزَابِ. And all my people, I fear for you like those before you who were destroyed. You know about the other nations that were destroyed before you. مثل دأب قوم نوح وعاد وثمود. Like the example of the people of Noah and the people of Ad and the people of Thamud. They were people of great power. They were people of great infrastructure. They were people of great abilities. And Allah destroyed them. وَمَا اللَّهُ يُرِيدُ ظُلْمًا لِلْعِبَادِ. And remember, those people weren't destroyed because God is a tyrant. Those people were not destroyed out of injustice. Rather, وَمَا ظَلَمْنَاهُمْ وَلَكِنْ كَانُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ يَظْلِمُونَ. Allah did not wrong them, but they were the transgressors. And they were the ones who had transgressed. And it continues on. وَقَالَ الَّذِي آمَنَ يَا قَوْمِ اتَّبِعُونِي أَهْدِكُمْ سَبِيلَ الرَّشَادِ. And then he said to them, "O my people, what I'm telling you, follow me. These words that I'm telling you, I will guide you to the path of righteousness. I will guide you to the correct path. Ya qawmi innama hadhihi al-hayatu ad-dunya mata'. Oh my people, I tell you, right now you have your riches and you have your luxury. This is a temporary thing. The riches and the enjoyment of the life of this world is temporary. Oh my people, I'm telling you. Don't be deceived and don't be deluded by the things of this world. وَإِنَّ الْآخِرَةَ هِيَ دَارُ الْقَرَارِ. And the hereafter, that is the abode of everlasting peace. مَنْ عَمِلَ سَيِّئَةً فَلَا يُجْزَى إِلَّا مِثْلَهَا. Anyone who does evil, he will be given retribution, the likes of it. وَمَنْ عَمِلَ صَالِحًا مِنْ ذَكَرٍ أَوْ أُنْثَى وَهُوَ مُؤْمِنٌ. And anyone who does a righteous act, whether he be a man or a woman, فَأُولَٰئِكَ يَدْخُلُونَ الْجَنَّةَ يُرْزَقُونَ فِيهَا بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ. They will be given paradise and they will be given enjoyment therein without any enumeration. Brothers and sisters, I'm reciting these verses to you and I'm translating. These are the verses that are recited in the Quran. When we stand in Taraweeh and we're standing and we're hearing a beautiful recitation and we don't know what it is, look at how much is in this Quran. It's so powerful. Is it not powerful? It's so amazing what this Quran contains. So for us to access these blessings, we have to at least strive to read the translation of the Quran, read the meanings of the Quran. And he continues, وَيَا قَوْمِ مَا لِي أَدْعُوكُمْ إِلَى النَّجَاةِ وَتَدْعُونَنِي إِلَى النَّارِ. Brothers and sisters, what do we learn from the story of the believer from the people of Fir'aun? Conviction. Do not be afraid. When you have believed and you know that something is the truth, stand with what you believe and don't have any doubt about it. Have that conviction. This man this believer from the people of Fir'aun teaches us that don't be afraid to be the odd man out or the odd woman out. Don't be afraid. Look at, he's saying in front of them, what he's saying? وَيَا قَوْمِ مَا لِي أَدْعُوكُمْ إِلَى النَّجَاةِ وَتَدْعُونَنِي إِلَى النَّارِ. Look at this conviction. And oh my people, what is with you? That I am calling you to salvation and you calling me to the fire. Look at that conviction. What is with you, oh my people, that I call you to success and salvation and you are calling me to hellfire? Tell them. Why are you afraid? This is the truth. Why is it that I'm calling you to salvation and you are calling me to the fire? تَدْعُونَنِي لِأَكْفُرَ بِاللَّهِ. You are calling me that I should disbelieve in my Lord? وَأُشْرِكَ بِهِ مَا لَيْسَ لِي بِهِ عِلْمٍ. And that I should ascribe partners to Him such that I have no knowledge of? وَأَنَا أَدْعُوكُمْ إِلَى الْعَزِيزِ الْغَفَّارِ. And I am calling you to the most mighty and the most forgiving Lord. And he continues. He is giving them all of this guidance. لا جرم أنما تدعونني إليه ليس له دعوة في الدنيا ولا في الآخرة. And without a doubt, what you're calling me towards has no substance. It's empty. What is all these ideologies that are out there, brothers and sisters? What are these ideologies? Other than the haqq, other than the truth of Islam, what are all the other ideologies? Either it's man worship, or monkey worship, or cow worship, or self worship. Or the other unholy trinity, me, myself, and I. The unholy trinity. There is no holy trinity, by the way. There's only unholy trinity. Either way you look at it. It's me, myself, and I. This is the religion of the masses now. This is the religion of the Western society, modern society. Right? لا جرم أنما تدعونني إليه ليس له دعوة في الدنيا والآخرة. Oh my people, without a doubt, what you're calling me to, it has no substance. It's zero. It's empty. It's frail. It's feeble. It's nothing. In this life nor in the hereafter. It's nothing. لَيْسَ لَهُ دَعْوَةٌ فِي الدُّنْيَا وَلَا فِي الْآخِرَةِ. It has no substance. It has no soul. It has no life. It is zero. This man worship and monkey worship and self worship. What is this? وَأَنَّ مَرَدَّنَا إِلَى اللَّهِ. And our return is to the one Almighty Allah. That is our return. وَأَنَّ الْمُسْرِفِينَ هُمْ أَصْحَابُ النَّارِ. And those who are the transgressors, they will be from the people of the fire. Now he ends his lecture. He ends his talk. And what does he say? فَسَتَذْكُرُونَ مَا أَقُولُ لَكُمْ وَأُفَوِّضُ أَمْرِي إِلَى اللَّهِ. You're going to remember what I've told you. This is a very, very scary way that he's dropping them. فَسَتَذْكُرُونَ مَا أَقُولُ. You're going to remember what I tell you. You know when you talk to somebody and then you tell them, you better watch out. You're going to remember what I've told you. فَسَتَذْكُرُونَ مَا أَقُولُ لَكُمْ وَأُفَوِّضُ أَمْرِي إِلَى اللَّهِ. I have resigned my affair to Allah. This is so powerful. Brothers and sisters, these words, remember these words. أُفَوِّضُ أَمْرِي إِلَى اللَّهِ. I have resigned my affair to Allah. I have taken recourse to Allah. Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. Allah is sufficient for me, and He is the best of caretakers. This is very, very powerful. This wording is so powerful that what happens after he says this? When he says, "Ufawwidu amri ilallah," what happens? Allah Ta'ala tells us that somebody said this and this is what happened. Somebody did this and this is what happened. Listen to what he said and listen to what happened after that. He said, فَسَتَذْكُرُونَ مَا أَقُولُ لَكُمْ. Oh my people, you're going to remember what I told you. وَأُفَوِّضُ أَمْرِي إِلَى اللَّهِ. And I resign my affair to Allah. I entrust my affair to Allah. I give my affair to Allah. Then what happens? إِنَّ اللَّهَ بَصِيرٌ بِالْعِبَادِ. Verily Allah is all watching over His slaves. فَوَقَاهُ اللَّهُ سَيِّئَاتِ مَا مَكَرُوا. Allahu Akbar. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then saved him from their plots. The rest of the story is mentioned in a narration narrated by Ibn Abbas. Alama Alusi in Tafsir Ruhul Ma'ani. The Mufassirin and the commentators of the Quran relate from Ibn Abbas something happened. When he told them this, the Mufassirin say, this believer then actually said, I'm a believer. After he said all of this, and then he said, "Ufawwidu amri ilallah." I resign my affair to Allah. Then what happens? فَوَقَاهُ اللَّهُ سَيِّئَاتِ مَا مَكَرُوا. Allah saved him from the evil of what they plotted him. What was the evil of what they plotted him? I will read to you what is narrated from Ibn Abbas from the commentators of the Quran. أَنَّ هَذَا الْمُؤْمِنْ لَمَّا أَظْهَرَ إِيمَانَهُ قَصَدَ فِرْعَوْنُ قَتْلَهُ فَهَرَبَ إِلَى جَبَلٍ. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu narrates, or it is reported that Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu narrates that this believer, when he then said his shahada in front of the people, that I believe in Allah, the one, and Moses is the prophet of God, Fir'aun then plotted to kill him and gave a warrant for his arrest, that he should be caught and arrested immediately and put to death. What did he do? He ran. He ran and he fled to a mountain. The narration continues, فَبَعَثَ فِي طَلَبِهِ أَلْفَ رَجُلٍ. 1,000 soldiers he sent after this guy. مَنْ أَدْرَكَهُ فَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ أَدْرَكَهُ يُصَلِّي وَالسِّبَاعُ حَوْلَهُ. This narration says that some of them, of this huge army that Fir'aun sent after him, they found him while he was in prayer. He was praying to seek refuge in Allah, and he was surrounded by wild beasts. He was surrounded by wild beasts, like Sayyidina Daniel alayhi salam. The Prophet Daniel, when he was thrown inside of a prison, they would also let lions loose upon him. The king of that time sent Daniel alayhi salam, the Prophet Daniel, to the dungeon, and when they sent him to the dungeon, they let lions loose upon him. They said they're going to finish him. Hungry lions. When they came back to see how he got ripped up and torn to pieces, they came and they saw all the lions were sitting around Sayyidina Daniel in complete obedience and submission and surrender. Similarly was Mu'minu Ali Fir'aun. He was sitting there, and all of the beasts and all the animals of the jungle, they were sitting there. فَلَمَّا هَمُّوا لِيَأْخُذُوهُ ذَبَّتْ عَنْهُمْ فَأَكَلَتْهُمْ. When they tried to come and get this believer, those lions or whatever they were, they attacked them, and whoever of those army, some of them ran away, some of them were ripped to shreds and eaten. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ مَاتَ فِي الْجَبَلِ عَطَشًا. And there was another group of them, they got lost in the mountain path and they died of thirst. وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ رَجَعَ إِلَى فِرْعَوْنَ. And then the third group, they returned back to Fir'aun and said, we swear we couldn't find this guy. He said, I sent 1,000 people, you couldn't find him? No, you are part of his group. No, you're lying. How could you guys are number one soldiers. How could you not find him? How could it be like this random guy who just went up the mountain, you can't find him? Minhum man raja ila Fir'aun khaiban. They went and they were hopeless. Fattahamahu wa qatalahu wa salabuhu. As Fir'aun blamed all of them for being part of they're covering his tracks. So Fir'aun accused them that they are covering. This is a cover-up. And he grabbed them and he killed them, and some of them he crucified them. فالمراد بآل فرعون هؤلاء الألف الذين بعثهم إلى قتله. So Allama Alusi says, where Allah says here in this ayah, فَوَقَاهُ اللَّهُ سَيِّئَاتِ مَا مَكَرُوا. Allah saved him from the evil of what they plotted, yani the evil of Pharaoh, where he sent these armies to catch this person. وَحَاقَ بِآلِ فِرْعَوْنَ. And those people of Pharaoh they were surrounded by an evil punishment. In other words, the evil consequence of their plot. From this we understand, brothers and sisters, subhanallah, this amazing story. The story of the believer from the people of Fir'aun. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved him. And Allah saved him because of his conviction. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saved him because of his unwavering belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and not backing down no matter how much he was the odd man out. And in the end, we learn a very important thing, brothers and sisters. Always in every situation, take recourse to Allah. وَأُفَوِّضُ أَمْرِي إِلَى اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ بَصِيرٌ بِالْعِبَادِ. The ulama have mentioned anyone who is in a very extreme difficulty, a difficulty where you're surrounded by hardships, you're surrounded by a situation where you can't imagine, how am I going to get out of it? Read this verse in abundance. Read these words. وَأُفَوِّضُ أَمْرِي إِلَى اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ بَصِيرٌ بِالْعِبَادِ. The one who, inshallah, who reads this, no matter how difficult of a situation or circumstance you are in, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make a way for you. May Allah give us tawfiq and enable us to follow what has been said. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Subhanakallah.